Hey everyone, it's Meridy here, and I'm back today with our third process video using the intellectual kits. And today I'm going to be working with our sketch of the month, which is right here, using two 4x6 landscape orientation photos. And the pictures that I'm going to use today are these two pictures of my kids watching a little parade of cars down our street. Let's see, I do have all of these frames that I can use. Let me get the sketch out here if I need it, or these titles. So I'll just set that up to the side here. And then I picked out a few pieces of embellishments that I plan on using on this layout, but I didn't pick out very many because you could use a lot of these things on this. So I just kind of grabbed a few little things right there real quick. And then I'm just gonna push those off to the side. I've got my little papers here that represent my journaling. So I'll show you where I put that at the end. Of course, my pictures. I've got a little bit of scraps. I've got this button patterned branding strip. And then I've got this, it's just a little scrap of this paper that I have left from the other couple pages I made. As you can see, there are hexagon pattern in the background here, so I plan on using the stencil on this page. I've got this paper, which is wood grain on the front and black and white, really graphic numbers on the back. This is going to be the second page of my layout. It's just a collage of pictures of the little parade of cars. This was March 27th of 2020, so we were about 2 weeks into COVID shutdown, and the teachers of all the schools, the elementary school and the junior high in our neighborhood, did a little parade, and each stayed in their own cars and waved to the kids on the side of the road. And so there was kids like sitting out every so often to see their teachers. So that's what that was from. So this will just be matted on a piece of cardstock to be the coordinating page in my album, but I wanted to show you that to give you ideas. If you have a lot of pictures for an event, that's one way to include them. I have all of these embellishments. I have my washi tape and the little tiny embellishments in there. I'm going to be using some of these because I didn't pull very many to use with this picture originally. I have my two sheets, or my pack of thicker phrases and my pack of thicker alphabets, so I can utilize that. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut the branding strip off here, and I will jump right in. I think the first thing that I really need to do is maybe map my pictures. I think I want to trim my pictures down a little. Although this sketch is showing them as full 4x6s, I think I just might trim a little because I feel like this is pretty proportionate, like two 4x6s, but there's like not a lot of space left after you put the two pictures in the middle. So I'm gonna trim my pictures down maybe to 5x4. Instead of 4x6, it's a 4x5. Let's see. I don't want to cut out too much of the background. I think I can do 4.5. I'm going to do it 4.5x4. So now they're 4.5 inches wide and 4 inches tall. It just gives me a little more space on my layout for my stencil work and things like that. And then I don't know which one I want at the top. I think I want this one at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and matte both pictures on white paper because I'll use other colors for my other layers in there. So I'm going to go ahead and matte these both on white paper, and I'll be right back. Okay. And then I need to decide if I want to use this side or this side. I kind of like this side a lot. I'll probably use this side. Okay, and then I am going to do you know, there's layers in this sketch behind each picture that's matted. There's like cardstock. It's very bold. I'm just gonna cut a couple pieces of this, and maybe I'll use the A side and maybe I'll use the B side. So since my pictures are after I have the mat on them, I'm gonna cut about a 5.5 inch strip off of this. So there's 2.5 inches left right here that I'm not using. And this is 5.5 inches. And I think I'll cut it four and 3/4 inches tall, both pieces. 4 and 3/4 inches tall. Okay, and then I have this little scrap left over too. I think I can work with that from here on out. Now I don't know if I want to leave these down here or if I want to turn one over. Just gonna grab the little scrap that I had. That might look kind of nice. It's just a little subtle with the black paper. And this paper does really good at pulling out some of those background colors in the picture. I think I'm gonna work with that. So I'm gonna put this one into my scraps, and I think I'm going to start working with this. Okay, next, I do believe, I don't think I need those scraps. I don't think I need this branding strip. It won't really show up on here, but I do need my hexagons stencil. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do some stencil work on the back. I really want it to be pretty tone on tone. I love the background of this paper. There's clouds in my pictures. I think I'm going to use a similar color. So let me see if I can find a similar color ink that I have here. So I've got hickory smoke and iced spruce, and I'm gonna test sample them on this little scrap of white paper and see which one I prefer to use. I'm just gonna get a little brush here. Okay, so that one's pretty dark. This is more the tone in the paper. I guess it just depends. Maybe I'll use a little of both. I'm just gonna start. So I think I'll start with the iced spruce because it's the lighter color, and I'm gonna do this stencil work that's down here first. So I'm just gonna place that there and kind of move these off to the side. And just lightly go through here. I'm not doing it, I'm making it look mottled. I'm not doing a full dark inked up hexagon. It's just sometimes it's a little heavier, sometimes it's a little lighter. Let's see how this looks. Okay, yeah, I like that. And then I can put my pictures back over here and see how it's fitting. Okay, I need to do a little more out here, and of course all up there just got buried, so I will keep on working at this. I'm gonna go off camera to do this for a while because it's not too exciting to watch, but I'm just gonna keep on adding ink in here until I get the right areas nice and inked, and I will be right back after I do this bottom corner, and I'm also gonna do this corner up here. Okay, so that was the iced spruce color, and I am gonna come in with hickory smoke right over this exact stencil work that I did, and I'm just gonna add it periodically, not to the whole entire thing. I'm just gonna every so often, just give it a little touch of this. And then I think I might come in with one more color. I think I might come in with the antique linen color to just give it a little bit of that yellowy color. So I've got my antique linen here. And I'm just gonna go right on top. I hope this even works. Oh yeah, it's working. It just adds a little bit more to there. So I will finish up this. There, that adds just a little bit of lightness into there. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my little water spritzer and I'm gonna activate some of this so it looks like it has water splatters in it. So I'm just tapping some on there, like how you would tap on to make splatters on your layout, except it's obviously just water. And then when we pull it off, it should activate underneath. It's very, very hard to see right now, but I'm gonna try to put it up to the camera. It probably shows up a little bit better in real life, but you can kind of see where I splattered the water. It kind of pulls the ink off. And then I'm gonna come in with the mist that came with this month's kit, which is the iced spruce. And it's the same color, you know, we use the iced spruce ink here. And I'm just gonna give it a few splatters. Okie doke. And I'm gonna have to let that dry for a few minutes before I put my pictures and my layers right back down. I think that's pretty much dry. So I am going to take my pictures and adhere them. I'm not going to adhere them down to the page quite yet. I'm just going to adhere them to the background papers that I've got there, just so it's kind of easier to move all of this when I want to adjust things. And now this is easy for me to just lift it and put it back where I want it. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to have to do is come in here and try to build up these 3 little embellishment clusters and one little goodie at the top up there. So I know I want my 3 clusters, one to be here, one to be here, one to be here, and my subtitle and my title to be right in the middle. So let's see how we can do this. I'm gonna I might want it to say parade. So I'm gonna put the words parade on my little tool that I use to hold my titles, so I can move it around the page and get it where I want it before I actually adhere it down. And just because I have my title right there in the sketch, if I want to move my title somewhere else because there's a lot in my picture there and it's covering it, I can change my title around. I don't have to follow the sketch precisely. And let's see, maybe that one can go up there to be something like that. I'm not sure that I like all of that. I definitely think This Happened would be a hilarious title because, yeah, no one really ever expected this to happen. So I'm gonna cut that out so I can move that around on my layout easily. And then I think I just need to come in here and put those off to the side for now. I think I need to come in here with these goodies and try to add some more little bits and pieces everywhere. So I'm gonna dump all these out, and I'm gonna go through here and decide what other pieces I want to be in here, and I will be right back when I pick out those pieces, and we can, I'll be moving them around where they go on the layout. Okay guys, I got a few things that I think I want to try to use. First, I think I want to try to layer this. It's supposed to be like a schoolhouse door, but I just kind of like the architecture. I think it might really cover up on my hexagons. We'll see. But I want to layer part of it up there, and then I want to layer part of it down here. So I think I'm just going to have to cut it. I'm trying to not cut too much off. I don't want to like cut it incorrectly, because there's only one time of cutting it. And I think I did cut it incorrectly, but that's okay. I'll make it work. It just adds a little to there, I think, because my page was looking kind of blank. Okay, I think I'm going to adhere this before I move on to any more of these pieces. So I'm going to get this all adhered, and I will be right back. Alrighty, I've got that down. I grabbed these little books because I didn't know if I wanted to put some little books on there. And that's kind of a lot with these things, so maybe I'm not going to do that. I've got my little scrap of paper that was cut with the punch that looks like a notebook paper, so I can stick that in there. Let's see. Then I've got a little wow, too cool for school, which is kind of funny. And I'm just bulking up these different areas. I don't think I need smile on there. Okay, I think I might use this up there to make this little part. I'll use something else up there too. I don't know what yet. I'm going to get this stuff adhered down, and I will be right back. Okay, I got a few more things here to kind of bulk up these little clusters. And I'm just gonna get them down. I kind of am not too sure about my parade word. That's why I haven't adhered it down yet. I don't know what I want to call it. Like what kind of parade. It was like a teacher parade, but it wasn't like a happy parade. Parade of cars. Ooh, maybe I could call it quarantine parade. That makes sense. Quarantine parade. I think I'll call it that. So I'm gonna get my little tiny alphabet stamps that I like to use a lot, and I am going to stamp the word quarantine in little tiny stamps, and then I'm gonna cut apart each letter. Here, I'll show you. I'm gonna grab my little tiny stamp set. I'm going to grab maybe this branding strip. No, that's not gonna show up. I'm gonna have to get a scrap of the wood grain paper here, possibly. Like, will that show up? I think so. I'm gonna stamp these letters to spell out the word quarantine. I'm gonna cut each one apart like a little letter tile, and then I'm gonna adhere them down right there. It's gonna spell quarantine parade, because that's exactly what this is. And I will be back after I get that adhered down. Okay guys, I've got my title on there. I'm gonna come in with a little bit more of that mist and give it a little more splatters, because all my little background work is almost gone. Yeah, my hexagons are pretty hidden on there. You almost can't see them on this side at all, but that's okay. I think this layout is done. I will probably add my journaling right about there, possibly, or maybe in there, but probably right there. It just tucks nicely in there. And I probably won't make the strips very long. They'll probably only be as long, like they'll end with this title right here, because then they'll just nestle really nice right there. So that's where my journaling will go. And here's the layout versus the sketch. It's not exactly the same, but it at least gave me a jumping off point to get started with. So if you used the sketch, or if you're inspired by this layout, if you recreate this layout either with your own supplies or with this month's kit, we would love to see it on our Facebook page and our Not Just for Boys Facebook group. I will link that in the description of this video along with everything else. And you might want to subscribe, because this was only my 3rd layout, and I have 8 layouts this month that I plan on making process videos for, working my way through this kit. So I will see you in a few days with another video. Thank you guys. Bye.